What is going on, and welcome back to the Journeyman with me, FoggyPlays on FM22. We're still in charge of BFC Daugavpils in Latvia, and it's been really bad. We've done transfer window, and this is the first time we're going to see a lot of the signings we've made play, because we've had 3 weeks without a game. I probably should have put a friendly in there, but I didn't. So back to play in the league. Like I say, things are just not great, but it's fine. We haven't been offered a new contract yet, and our contract does run out in the not too distant future. So that is interesting. We might be leaving Latvia after just over a year. But if you do want to enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now let's start the video. Right, fellas. So as I said, we're taking on Spartaks. And as you can see from the league, we've lost lots and lots of games. 15 defeats in 24 games, and we're still not even close to the relegation zone. So I think you could say decent season. We're only expected to beat relegation. We're 10 points ahead of Jelgava. Poor Grobanas are not having a great time. We have 4 wins more than the team next below us. So it's looking pretty fine. I think we're still guaranteed. Yeah, we can still win the league, or we could still get like last. So yeah, it's interesting. The last game you saw was somewhere, but we've had ropey form in May. Don't know if that was the last time you saw a game, but we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. Played an entire quarter of the league in May, and we managed 4 wins and 5 defeats. Then in June, 2 wins and 3 defeats. A win against Grobanes. To be fair, that's pretty decent. And then against RFS, we lost, but then we played Meta, and we got smashed. As you can see, we scored 2 goals quite late in the first half. But that wasn't great. 6-2. Not ideal. I think what was the score? It was like 3-2 at halftime. I was like, fuck it. We'll just chuck everything at them for the second half and see what happens. They scored lots more goals. And then against Riga, 6-1. They're by far and away the best team. We did have a player sent off. Akpuja, a very, very silly sending off. Do have a new goalkeeper in there and a new centre back, as you can see. The goalkeeper's not been great. So yeah, Vershinen did get himself a beautiful little goal. One of these games, where is it? Cockins scored a brace in this one. I think it was his second goal, which was the one that was really, like, it was just, I think it was the second goal. Was it? As you can see, 2 of their players did not play very well. Maybe it wasn't this one. That was a good goal, to be fair, but it's not the one I'm looking for. Okay, I was hoping I could press. Okay, it was this one. He just marks the goalkeeper from a throw-in, and their defender just kicks it back, and Cockins puts it in the back of the net. I was quite happy with that one. That was a very tasty goal. We did score an absolute worldie of an own goal. I just don't remember who it was against. This one. Against Lil Paja, we scored an absolute Udris. Beautiful, beautiful own goal. Like, I have to say, this is one of the best own goals I have ever seen in my life. So we'll. I was going to say we zoom out a small bit, but we can't. The striker just hits the ball from outside the area. Udris gets a hand to it, and it just rolls past him. It's just, that was not great defending. We do have 2 players who are joining us in the not too distant future. In January 2024, Connor Clifford, a fellow Irishman from Dublin, is going to be joining. As you might remember him from Chelsea. He was a wonder kid, potentially. I remember him being quite good in FMs of years gone by. Yeah, he's kind of just wandered around in Ireland for the last 7 seasons. Not done a huge amount, but he will be joining us. And then there's this guy coming from an Italian club who, my director of football, just loves signing strange players. This guy will be joining in 2025. I would imagine will be very, very gone by the time he arrives. Have we any players? Okay, so Olieke left to go to El Kanami Warriors on a free transfer. It was grand because it just cleared off some of the wages. Atisu has gone to Russia for 20 grand. Really disappointed. The squad was quite disappointed when he left as well, which was fantastic because they took it out on me, even though I don't do the transfers. He wasn't having the best of seasons anyway, but still would have been nice to have him. Guzlevis has left us for Jelgava. He was on an amateur contract, so that didn't really make much of a difference. Just meant we had a free slot in our team. Having played 9 league games this year, didn't score a goal, played a 6.44. Ex-captain Andreas Kovalyos left us. He came to me, said he wasn't going to be able to play first team football. I said that was fine. Took his captaincy off him, and he started liking me, which was strange. He didn't oppose me anymore. And then Nordine, who has just... I'm so glad that someone came in and signed him because he was having an absolute mare of a season. 19 appearances, 3 goals. Just not good enough. He's gone to Kamaz in the 2nd division, I want to say. But we have brought some players in. Samuel O2 is our new goalkeeper. Not been great. He has played 4 games and conceded 13. Kyrgyzstan is not important. Kai Butcher has come in and played a couple of games for us. Came in on loan from Luzerne, who are one of I think they're our only parent club. He's not very good, so that's fantastic. These players don't matter because they're like in our B team or under 18s under 18s. Benjamin York came in. He is potentially one of our best players. Attribute wise for advanced forward, poacher looks pretty decent. He's got okay physicals, like acceleration, agility, natural fitness, and pace are pretty decent. Off the ball is alright. He's got the 3, like the dribbling, finishing, and first touch you want from a good striker. So there's potential for him to do something for us this year. We brought in Troikis Artyom's Troikis, who is a winger who was playing for Spartaks B team, I think it was. The Supernova. When I say playing, I mean wasn't. He's played twice for the first team. He's come in as an option. We also signed Edgar's Sakurovs, who is a centre-back. We definitely needed centre-backs. We were quite short on centre-backs. And Wadak Puja, having decided he was going to injure everybody and get sent off multiple times this year, it was quite nice to have a centre-back in the squad. 5'11", not ideal. Does dive into tackles, I like that. So he is now an option there as well. Emmanuel Peter, I think he's the guy that we're going to be using. Not as good as Benjamin York, but I think Peter, who has... he's going to be starting the game today. So I'm going to give him an opportunity. And then Lucas Alves, a Brazilian who came from... I think he was playing in Nigeria. Yeah, playing in Nigeria before he came to us, which is quite interesting because he's played for a club in the US and Italy. This man has travelled the world. But he's a backup option, shall we say. So we've been playing with different tactics recently. The 4 defenders has kind of been standard. Were playing originally with a defensive midfielder and then an asymmetric up front. It was either a left winger or a right winger, and then strikers offset. So 1 in the centre, 1 off to either side, depending on which side we had our winger playing. So yeah, it's been a time. William Mukwele has decided he wants to leave on a free transfer. So what's it called? What's the thing called? The meeting that you have with your coaches, they were like, yeah, just transfer this to them. So I did. And we have Fjoldorvs potentially coming back before the end of the season after breaking his leg. I would love to see what that guy can do because he actually has like pretty decent potential. I think he's 5-star. I think he's still 5-star. He hasn't dropped too much in terms of attributes, having broken his leg and spent like 7 months out. So we're going to go into the game against Spartaks, hoping for the best. Udris is going to be starting in goal because, as you saw, Utu has been terrible. They do want me to play Benjamin York for this game. I have him on the bench. Because I don't want to start too many players for their debuts today. Like, originally I was going to start Lucas Alves, who can play right back as well. But, you know, right back, not a position we're lacking players in. So, could have done with like a central midfielder. We'll see what we can do. I could just like offset like I did. I had originally set like this before, but we've not really been playing all that well. But actually, we'll try this because we've been doing it for a while. Yeah, 2 of our players aren't match fit. We've made 5 changes from the last game, which we did, you know, as I did say, did get smashed in. So, what's the worst that could happen? Pump fists, actually, thrash arms. We owe them. Step up our game. A couple of players are like, we've never played for this club before. I don't care. Random numbers selected. Emmanuel Peter, our striker, did get the number 2. I think one of our central midfielders, who I took out of the team, one of the youth players, was number 2 originally. And I gave Gatis Udris the number 1 jersey, having been, was he 23? 22? I know he had a different number, but the guy who was number 1, we unregistered to make room for other players in the 30, because you can only have 30 players registered, which, believe it or not, can be a little bit difficult, but we have so many young players as well. Like, we haven't had a huge amount of opportunities to play a squad of, like, you know, players in their 20s. A lot of our options are 18, 19. A couple of times I've had to play 16-year-olds this season because we don't have a very large array of players that are, you know, old enough to vote, which is fantastic. It's delightful. This game against Spartaks is going to be a difficult one because they are 4th in the league and we're comfortably 7th. So, like, I think it's 8 points behind the team ahead of us. And Cockins almost got there before us. Oh, I think Spartaks have a player in their centre back that's called Dross. And our defending was just Dross there. Thankfully, Sipus put it wide. Do they have Dross playing today? Oh, they do. Dross is playing in central midfield today. I think the last time we played them, he was one of their centre backs. But they have Veeps playing in there now. But I'm quite happy with how we've played so far. We do have 2 pressing forwards, which doesn't seem to make much of a difference because the 2 of them are playing absolutely horrendously. And okay, that one, I was expecting it to come up and be like, yeah, corner. It's like, I don't really want to defend the corner. I've been taking over training quite a lot recently because our assistant manager does not know how to set up training. He's essentially done nothing for like the majority of the week. Like when we're playing or when we're training, he just like there's just nothing. Just nothing. It'll be like rest for 2 days. Just like, why? Why are you resting the players for 2 days? What are we gaining from you resting the players for 2 days? We are going to Sakarov's not having the best of debuts today against his old club, but this is fine. It's just fine, okay? They've had a player go off injured, so we're doing the business in that sense. Fantastic goal line defending from one of the centre backs, I think it was. And Emmanuel Peter loses the ball. Actually, I have no idea who it was. Well, it must have been Kukovic because he's up to 7.4 now. Nobody else in our team is playing all that well. Udris did well to get the ball forward. Unfortunately, none of our players are actually able to, you know, win the ball. It's not the best football you're going to see ever. Good defensive work though. I was having a look at the attributes of our midfielders a little bit closer. They're absolute dross. So I'm kind of glad that I've been playing direct. Sipos was eventually going to get a goal. I'm surprised it took him just over an hour. This has been a less than fantastic game for us. We're going to make... live a free kick. Okay, we're going to make changes. Things are not going well. Sakharovas is playing poorly. I'm going to bring on Butcher. Emmanuel Peter can come off for Benjamin York, who I'm actually going to play him as an advanced forward. I'm going to put Kakis over this side. Ona is going to go over here and come off for Trikas to be a winger on support. I do have both my wing backs on attack just so I can try and get them to get more involved. I'm going to bring off Ivanos for Diagne. Move Diagne forward, make him box to box. Bevlos can be Mazella, and then Ivanovs can come off. We give Alves his debut. I think he's a better defensive midfielder. 4 substitutions just before the 65th minute. 3 debuts, and Sipos scores again. And it is after being given. Fantastic. For a second I thought it was going to be disallowed, but no. Unfortunately, not. Okay, so we're going to proceed with those changes. Because, weren't that great. We're going to berate the players. This is just turned into Spartaks just having the ball all the time. Boucher does boot it clear. Boucher. Sipos almost got himself a cheeky little hat-trick against us. Glad he didn't. Illens is having an absolute mare of a game. But so is Cockins. So, don't have a left back, but we do have a right back on the bench. We have 2 right backs on the bench. We're going to move Kukurish over to play at left back. And I'm going to bring on Kirillish to play as our right back. And that is all our substitutions done. Go out there, make me proud. Kirillish. He's been way worse than I expected. But then again, the entire squad has been crap. So, not expecting an awful lot from them. This is fine. But like I said, we are just in no man's land currently. Not going to be pushing any further forward. I don't think we're going to get... don't think we're going to drop into like a relegation battle. I'm going to say I'm not happy with your performance. That was not very good. Emmanuel Peters' debut, not great. Sukharov's debut, not great. Who else made their debut? Lucas Alves had a fine game. Troikish, meh. Benjamin York, meh. So essentially, we've just had a bunch of players who've played meh. Yeah, fantastic. 17 players. 16 players who got an opportunity on the pitch today. Only Kukurish, who is actually quite unhappy with me at the minute because of Atisu leaving. Obviously, that's my fault, seeing as how the dude wanted to leave. My director of football accepted an offer for him. That's my fault, of course. If this hurries up, I'll show you the dynamics, because they're not great. Dynamics, I've seen worse, but they're really not great. We did have a team meeting as well to try and put a pep in the lads' steps. Didn't really do much, to be honest, clearly, because we've just lost this game. So this is taking far too long, so I'm going to bring you back for an interesting game in the next episode. You have to wait and see what that episode might be, because it's just quite a lot of defeats so far. But if you did enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Obviously, comment down below, tell me what I'm doing wrong. This tactic started off quite well, but it's turned into utter trash. But thank you for watching, fellas, and I will see you in the next one.